You've seen the news. The Golden State Warriors were interested in acquiring LeBron James. Not to say nobody is interested. Everybody is interested in acquiring LeBron James. But they actually made a push for it. What can you tell us? What level of truth there is? What level of falsehood there is to the reports that have circulated via Adrian Wojnarowski of ESPN and obviously piggybacked off of by Brian Windhorst and others? Your thoughts?
Well, I mean, look, obviously, it's true. Woj and Ramona is not going to report something that's false. But I think it's a testament to LeBron and obviously, also the organization of the Warriors who continue to be aggressive and wanting to compete. And so, look, things like this takes place. And obviously, when you're talking about the names at that level, it's going to be news. But it wasn't much news in terms of the timing and spent on it.
And you say that because why? That there was no way in hell that LeBron James would even consider making such a move? Is that why you say that?
No, he's committed to the Lakers. I mean, Jeannie has been an incredible partner for him and us. And I think it's important for that to be understood and to be respected. Obviously, there's ups and downs and emotions throughout the course of a season. But ultimately, LeBron's committed to the Lakers.
Speak to how happy LeBron James is or lack thereof when it comes to being a Los Angeles Laker at this moment in time. How happy is he to be a Los Angeles Laker at this moment?
I mean, LeBron's been great. He's been more than happy in terms of just his experience as a Los Angeles Laker. I think that's the one thing that Jeannie always wanted to make sure that she reiterated is the importance of his happiness. And look, I think people tend to place a responsibility of winning every year. Mm-hmm. That's not realistic for nobody, not for LeBron. It's not realistic for any of the players today or any of the players in the past. I mean, I think people always go back to a 6-0 finals, but that's when you got there. But they're not counting the years that you fell short. And so, look, I think it's hard to get to the mountaintop. It's hard to get back to the mountaintop after being there. And so for those guys who have gotten there and have achieved the winning while being there, the great ones, they want that feeling over and over and over again, but it's extremely difficult. And so for me in my conversation, I can't put words in LeBron's mouth, but for my conversations with him, it's been just enjoy the game. Enjoy the game. You have a lot less years to play than you've already played. I don't think he owes anybody anything. I don't think there's nothing else for him to accomplish. Mm-hmm. And I don't think he's in a space where he has to win every year. He's already home. And so just enjoy it, enjoy being in the locker room with those young guys, enjoy creating memories as a Los Angeles Laker and, finish strong. However many more years he wants to play, it's totally up to him. As of today, he's definitely playing for the love of the game, and he still loves the game. He still wants to compete, and he gets up every day wanting to be better as a ball player. And so I'm just appreciative of that, as you can see in today's game, to have somebody at his age still love the game with having all the trinkets and all the money and all the success that he's had, and to still love the game. That's rare coming in. That's rare in year one, let alone year 21.
Well, I'm gonna give props where props is due by saying this. I'm gonna tell you what the biggest rarity is. The biggest rarity is a guy to be 39 years of age in his 21st season in the NBA, looking and being as great as he has looked and continues to be. LeBron James is one of the top players on the planet right now in his 21st season, and credit deserves to be given to him in that regard. But with that in mind, I asked this question. Is he capable of just enjoying the young guys and having a good time without being in a position to win if the team fell off? They were in the Western Conference Finals last year, so we can't look at the Lakers and just dismiss that. But the way you sound at times, it's as if, listen, just go out there, play, have a good time because you've already done it all. And I'm like, yeah, that works if you're not as great as him. But when you are still as great as he still is, doesn't that bring a different momentum to the equation?
Yeah, I would say no. I would say, as a competitor, that's easier said than done. And coming from me, obviously that's easier said. But I'm always, a lot of times when you represent guys, you have to speak to them from a perspective of just having balance. And I think a lot of times there's so much pressure put on all these guys, especially someone like him who, despite whatever he does, it's going to always be an opinion from someone else.
Right.
And you can't go through life trying to prove yourself to those that's going to be opinionated for whatever reason, because you don't know where that opinion stems from, right? And you don't know what's behind that opinion. And so I try to help him just stay focused on, the task at hand and just enjoying the game at this point. I mean, look, he's in year 21, man. 21, he's still competing at a high level. I mean, if you wanted to, you can put him in any conversation there is to be put in. And so at that point, it's a team sport. If this was tennis or if this was golf and it was an individual sport, that's a little bit different. But, you can't control everything. It's just extremely difficult to do that. And at this state, with the rules and everything that's in place, and a lot of things has changed since he first entered the league. And I think he's overachieved. The expectation on him coming in was tremendous. There was a ton of doubt. There was people that definitely didn't want to see him succeed for whatever reason they had, or whatnot. And I think he overachieved. And so to come in as highly touted as he was, and as scrutinized as he was, and with all these people just waiting for him to fail, and to overachieve and to still be there now today, relevant, and to have teams seeking you out to play with their younger stars. I mean, look, it's a basketball fantasy, right? Playing with such great players. And when you mention a guy like Steph Curry, from a basketball perspective, I think people rise from the dead to want to play with Steph
Absolutely.
Curry, because he's one of the greatest players to ever, not shooters, he's one of the greatest players to ever touch a basketball.
Right.
And they were born in the same hospital, which is a fun fact. But the reality of it is, when you are a professional athlete and you have a commitment and you have a partnership and you've been treated with nothing but grace and respect, and from a partnerial perspective, it's important for you to honor that. It's important for you to be committed to that. And for a guy at the level of a LeBron James, the reason why I wanted to step out and say what I said, and you're right, I heard you today, I'm going to always do what's best for the client and what's asked of the client. But there's no reason for you to have representation if you're not going to necessarily value their advice.
That's where I was going.
You know what I'm saying? And so for me, I sit in a very interesting seat, right? Because the hardest part of my job is to sometimes you have to be the other voice, right? And it wasn't that in this case because it was shot down right away. But I've been in situations that, you may agree to disagree on things, but ultimately the perspective that I like to come from always gives a balance. And so, this stuff is fun though. I actually enjoy it, and to wake up and to hear all the news, and I knew it was coming, but it's just a testament to his hard work in this case. It's just a testament to his hard work.
Well, a couple of things. Number one, you alluded to Steph Curry and LeBron James being born in the same hospital. That's Summa Health Systems in Akron, Ohio. They were both born, Steph Curry and LeBron James were both born there. That's number one. Number two, I'm glad you brought up yourself, because my question to you, and I'm getting ready to get into a deeper discussion about you and Clutch Sports in just a second. I wanted to ask you, if LeBron James had even hesitated, what specifically, I know what your position is, but explain to our audience what you would have said in an effort to basically say to him, I don't know if this is the right thing for you to do. Think about leaving the Lakers to go to the Golden State Warriors. What would you have said to him?
Yeah, I would say, where's the win? Where's the win? If just taking the Warriors out, just any team at this point in your career, where's the win? Because if you go somewhere and you fall short, then I can count 50 losses.
Yeah.
So what's the value in that, right? Oftentimes, people get caught up into making impulsive decisions. And I have a lot of friends that's not here no more today because they made impulsive decisions. Right.
Same here.
And so I think oftentimes we spend a lot of time, again, trying to validate the opinions of people that aren't even validated themselves. And so for me, just staying in the moment, and again, understanding that the grass ain't always greener. We understand that. Mm-hmm. And he's already home. What else? If you go somewhere and you win another championship,
that's where I was going.
Okay. What in his life is going to change? There's still going to be barbershop conversations about who somebody think is the GOAT and why they think they're the GOAT and why they don't think he's the GOAT and so on and so forth. There's still going to be conversations about why he belong on the Mount Rushmore of the Lakers or don't belong on the Mount Rushmore. There's going to be so many different conversations. You can slice it or you can skin it or you can twist the narrative however you want to twist it. You know, I see a lot of guys on these podcasts. And it's too many podcasts, by the way. But I see a lot of guys.
70,000, Rich. 70,000 podcasts. 70,000.
Yeah, that's too many.
Yes.
And I see a lot of guys on these networks. And, you know, and look, part of it is their job. So I get it. But if you're having a real conversation, there's nothing else for LeBron James to do in the world of basketball. Nothing. You want to talk about
not catching Kobe, not catching MJ? Just asking.
Catching them at what?
Championships. Number of titles. That's all. Number of titles. That's all. 5 and 6.
No, it's not, because just like, you know, again, you talked about it today. I think you guys talked about it. Somebody was talking about, maybe it's on another show I was watching, but They talked about Apple being worth 2.9 trillion and Microsoft being worth 3 trillion.
Yep.
You know, there's if LeBron, Mike, and Kobe was in a room together, they all belong.
True.
They all belong. There's no room of basketball that LeBron's gonna get to that door
Rich Paul,
and be denied on the list.
That is the most, I've known you for years. That is the absolute most accurate thing you have ever stated. That LeBron, Kobe, MJ, they belong in the same room. I mean, this is the first time you said something that I can't even debate. I don't even have a chance of debating you. That you're absolutely right.